He was known as Mikhailov. In actuality, this simple Azerbaijani man was known as Mehdi Gusseinzadeh. He was born on the 22nd of December 1918 in the town of Novkani, in the family of the future chief of Baku City Police, Ganif Gusseinzadeh, who was fighting banditry on the territory of the Soviet Azerbaijan. In 1936, Mehdi, who liked drawing since childhood, had finished the Baku Art College, after which was assigned to a primary school in Sorokani as an art teacher. At the same time, he worked in a library. Specifically, he was chief of the reading hall of the Abbas Sakat Library and worked in the M. Azerbekov Library. Afterwards, Mehdi went to study in Leningrad, wishing to enter the Academy of Arts. However, he couldn't and entered the Institute of Foreign Languages. In 1940, he achieved a transfer to the second course of the Faculty of Languages and Literature of the Azerbaijan Pedagogic Institute of V.I. Lenin. The reason for the transfer was his love for poetry and literature. When the Second World War started, by the 9th of August, Mehdi was in the army and studying in the Tbilisi Infantry School. When he, a 24-year-old lieutenant, was transferred in 1942 to the Stalingrad front, he felt he would die young, of which he wrote in a poem sent to his sisters in Baku in May of the same year, saying, "I fear I will die young." A year after entering the Red Army, Mehdi Gusseinzadeh was heavily wounded. While unconscious, he was captured by the enemy. After being treated at the Mirgorod in the Poltava area, Gusseinzadeh was counted into the Azerbaijani Wehrmacht Legion and sent to Germany. He realized that running was impossible, and if fate threw him into the thick of his enemies, he can and must extract a benefit and be of use to his country. In the Berlin School of Translators, Mehdi learned German for 3 months. After successfully finishing the course in April of 1943, he was transferred to the city of Strans, to the formation of the 162nd Turkestan Wehrmacht Division. While in Italy in Trieste, Mehdi established contact with Yugoslavian partisans, and with the help of 2 other soldiers in the division, the Azerbaijanis Javad Hakimli and Asad Garbanov, managed to escape. Thanks to the local patriots, Gusseinzadeh and Hakimli managed to reach the partisans and were soon fighting in the 9th Yugoslavo-Italian Partisan Corps. Acquiring the underground nickname Mikhailo, Mehdi led the diversionary group and became one of the most significant partisan diversionists of the Second World War, of whom the historians of the future will write studies. Having an affinity for languages since childhood, Mehdi, aside from Russian, French and German, also knew English, Spanish and Turkish languages. He also had extensive knowledge of explosives and was a great driver. By the end of April 1944, Mehdi and his comrades Hans Fritz and Ali Tagiev had blown up the bridge at the railroad station Kostylo. As a result of this diversion, a German carriage of 24 wagons had suffered a catastrophe. Many diversions Mehdi carried out in a German uniform. In September of the same year, in the uniform of a German officer of technical service, he infiltrated the airfield of the enemy and used timed mines to explode 2 planes, 23 military garages, and 25 automobiles. He continued to be a loyal son to his motherland, and perhaps would have lived if it were not for a traitor. After learning that Mehdi was assigned to carry out an operation of retrieving equipment from German warehouses, the enemy started chasing down the partisans and followed them to the town of Vitovny, where the tragedy happened. The enemy had surrounded the town and demanded to be shown to the house where Mikhailo was hiding, or they would burn the entire village. Mehdi exited his shelter willingly and opened fire on the enemy. After a short fight, he killed 25 armed foes. Mehdi had sustained 8 gunshot wounds, however still kept fighting. When he found that he had almost run out of ammo, he shot himself in the heart, unwilling to be captured. Mehdi Gusseinzadeh died on the 2nd of November 1944. After an order from the first secretary of the Communist Party of Azerbaijan, Heydar Aliyev, in 1973, a memorial was established in memory of the hero in the center of Baku, and on the 25th of October 2007, a bust of Mikhailo was installed in Slovenia, in the town of Shempas. As a result, other memorials were also built.